What's going on, guys? It's Dominic from Media Glitch, and today we're going to talk about Secret Wars. That's right, the big summer event from Marvel is just about wrapping up, and springboarding out of that event is going to be all new #1s, whole new lineup for the comics, but we're not going to talk about that Secret Wars. We're actually going to go back 30 years to 1984, talk about the original Secret Wars, written by Jim Shooter and illustrated by Mike Zeck and Bob Layton. This comic has been around for over 30 years, this miniseries, and although I do know the story, I realized I had never actually read the original one, so I want to go back and see what was similar, what was different, what things they drew parallels from the new one that's written by Jonathan Hickman, and then just tie it back to see what's going on with the old one. Okay, so basically it is a cosmic Hunger Games in space with superheroes. This mysterious, omnipotent, all-powerful being named the Beyonder plucks a bunch of superheroes and a bunch of supervillains from the Marvel U and puts them onto this patchwork planet that they all call Battle World. And he tells them, hey, you guys fight to the death, and winner takes all. You can never have whatever wildest dreams that you want. And of course, that's where fighting ensues. You have the villains wanting to take out the heroes wanting to take out the villains. But what makes this story so interesting is you have a lot of infighting between the supervillains, and you have some infighting amongst the superheroes. So that causes a lot of interesting conflict between both sides. Okay, so the big highlights of this story are in it, the X-Men are there. Storm, at this time in the Marvel Universe, is leading the X-Men, but Charles Xavier is able to walk because of these events. The Beyonder must have given him the ability to walk. He can walk around, and so he's decided to take a more proactive, combative role as a leader, and he's saying, hey, X-Men, you're gonna do what I say, because now I can walk again. And meanwhile, Storm's like, hey, wait a minute, I'm the leader here. You've just been rolling around in a wheelchair all these years. And so they kind of fighting a lot, and it gets kind of heavy. And then you have, from Fantastic Four, Ben Grimm, the Thing. Okay, guess what? He can't stop transforming from the Thing back into Ben Grimm. 1 minute it's clobbering time, and next minute he's ever-loving, blue-eyed Ben Grimm, and he's stuck in a Speedo. Like, what's going on here, guys? I don't know what's happening. But I'd say the biggest highlight out of this series happens in Secret Wars #8. Okay, that's where we first see the first appearance of the black-suited Spider-Man. That's right, the alien symbiote, although we don't know it's the symbiote at the time, latches himself onto Peter Parker, creates the black suit, and from that we get so many great stories in the future in the Marvel Universe. We get all the black-suited Spider-Man stories, we get the symbiote stories with Venom, you get Venom coming out of that, you get Carnage, you get all the great symbiote stories and all the really bad ones that happened in the 90s. But besides that, that is the longest lasting effect, I think, of what happened out of Secret Wars. The similarities between both series, the new one and this past one, I would say the key players are the Beyonder, of course, Victor Von Doom, and the Molecule Man. Okay, the good about this, there is a lot of textual meat. This is something that you don't see a lot in modern comics. They have a lot of internal dialogue and internal introspection. There's thought bubbles. I mean, I can't even tell you the last time I saw a thought bubble in a modern comic. There's just a lot more dialogue happening. Plus, they use an interesting technique that they used back then where they would catch people up upon the series by using the synopsis of the story, like writing it into the narrative. The characters would talk about what was happening as you were watching it happen. I would say the bad parts of the story is it is very dated in terms of some of the dialogue they use for slang. At the time, Jim Rhodey, aka Rhodey, aka the War Machine, he's Iron Man. He's playing Iron Man at this time, and they write him kind of like a 60s blaxploitation character, so he's always like hitting on the women, commenting on their form, if you will. And then you got the Wasp, and she's constantly fretting about her hair and her makeup and her wardrobe. It's very silly, and for those reasons alone, I would give this series 4 hot dogs out of 5. Otherwise, this is a top-notch series. I highly recommend you pick it up. So what did you guys think about it? Did you like the original Secret Wars? Do you like it better than the new one? Which one's better? What are the highlight parts of this original Secret Wars that you like the best that maybe I didn't touch on? If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe, comment below and just let us know. You can follow me on Twitter at Dominc Sedillo, and you can follow me on Instagram at Dominc Sedillo Illustrator.